What's up, everyone? Welcome to Literary Souls. I am Untamed Mando, and we're going to be talking about the Witcher book series, not the Netflix series, because I did try to do some reviews on that, and it was not my cup of tea. And I have a little hair on me. Ew. Um, welcome in, late art. I am also excited. Welcome in. But yeah, we are this is Literary Souls. We talk about books, literature, and literature adjacent things. So I liked it overall. It was great. It was a great read. I'll be completely honest. After, like, don't get me wrong, I love the Halo series and I love the Halo books and all that good stuff, but it was just nice to have some fantasy, just old-fashioned fantasy. Dragons, things getting slayed, a big hero. It was nice. What's up, Boban? What's up? How you doing? Later, I know that this is very, very last minute, but do you want to come on as a guest? Do you want to like talk about it, like verbally? Do you want to be a guest on the literary shows? I can send you a link if you so desire. If not, no worries, no worries. Goodness, but yeah, it was great. It was great to just no. Okay, I just late art. You stream. You are also a streamer. Come on. Okay. But no worries, I'm not. This is not forcing you. It was just an idea. Doing good. How you doing? I'm doing good. It's nice to finally have something nice to read or watch or look forward to after all of the Ahsoka episodes I've watched and other things that I've had to see that are not as good. This is just a nice breath of fresh air for me. Yeah. Oh, goodness. So, yeah, I don't know who all has read the book or seen the Netflix series. If you've seen the Netflix series, there are certain aspects of the book that they did adapt okay in the series, but they left so much good stuff out. Stream Elements bot, if I'm keeping my eye on you, you better behave. Behave. So yeah, it was and if you've played the games, you kind of recognize some names that come up periodically in the book, which was fun. Like me playing the games. Eventually, I'll get back to Witcher 3, I promise. But it was just nice to be like, oh, I recognize that name. And then in the book, I guess because it's the English translation, his name is Dandelion. I know that in the Netflix series they did Jackster, which I guess is the proper Polish way to say his name. But in the book it's Dandelion and in the video games it's Dandelion. So I'm gonna just call him Dandelion. Which is fine. Which is fine. So yeah, of course, first opening it up, we are introduced to Geralt basically having a nice fisticuffed brawl in a tavern, where he is then asked to take care of a Striga problem. Which, if you've played The Witcher 1, that is the beginning that is the opening scene in Witcher 1, the game. And so I was already very familiar with the story of the Striga and King Foltest and it being his daughter, but also it was his daughter that he had with his sister. And so it was all sorts of messed up stuff. But hey, back in the day, people did sleep with their cousins and it was weird and it's still weird and keep it all in the family, keep the bloodline pure kind of thing. But that's not what this was. This was just a case of, oh my God, you slept with your sister. Not a Polish expert, can't comment on the name change. Right, I am not either. I am okay in English, learning Spanish again. I used to be pretty fluent in Spanish and Polish is not on the list of languages that I am going to be learning anytime soon if we're just being honest. Cuz I do want to learn a lot more languages, but that's just not one of them. I mean, who knows? Who knows? I might learn I don't I think The languages that I'm wanting to learn besides the one that I already know, English, is Spanish, Japanese, Greek, and there was one more, Hebrew or Aramaic. One of the 2. What's up, Cajun? Roll Tide. So yeah, we are, just like, when you open the book, you just great country there, especially in winter. Huh, I wouldn't know. Wait, you know English? I have better English than you, Cajun. And baklavan. Yes, I must make sure that I have the proper uh alphabet and things set for baklava. For those of you who don't know, Art is the queen of baklava, and I am but a humble servant of said queen of baklava. And if you don't know the inside joke, DM me and I'll tell you the inside joke. It was quite hilarious. It was me being a goof. I did a goof. And yeah, now Art is the queen of baklava. Who knew that being a goof you create a whole new country and a society? I mean, there have been countries and cities created for weirder things. Right. I mean, oh yeah. We need to come up with an official like language for baklava later. I know it's like baklavan, but like what is it gonna be? A mixture of English and some other language. So oh my goodness. So yeah. I so little bit of why we're going through The Witcher. I have wanted to go through The Witcher book series on this channel for a while now, but I have not been able to get my hands on the full series or the full set for a decent price. Most of them were pretty expensive. And I went into my local thrift store, I think it was a couple weeks ago. No, it was about a month ago now. Yeesh. And lo and behold, for $40 in my thrift store, the whole Witcher series was just staring at me, and I was like, "Oh, this is mine now." So that is why we are going through the Witcher series, because I have the whole series, and I'm just about to have the whole Wheel of Time series. So after we get through The Witcher, I'm going to be diving into the Wheel of Time. I am so excited, and we will get back to Halo eventually. That is definitely something I want to get back to because I did enjoy the Halo series, but I don't want to base the episodes on stuff that I have read when I don't have like physical copies or access to every single book in the series. So that is what the holdup has been with the Halo series. Cause yes. But we're getting started. Yes. So yeah, we open up. Geralt is just riding through a small little town, going into a pub, and he's just like, "I just want a drink, man." These guys just mess with him. Why is it that like people in bars or whatever, like they see a stranger walking and they just want to mess with him? Like, what is up with that? Like, just leave the poor guy alone and let him drink his booze, man. Yeesh. So they walk up. He, of course, uh, ye- uh, ends their existence, and then there's somebody he's taken into custody, and somebody's like, "Hey, so you're a Witcher, naturally, obviously, and our king Foltest is looking for someone to cure his daughter of Striga, being a Striga. I don't know if there's like a technical term for that, but she's a Striga, which is basically a monster, and the king wants her cured instead of killed. And the guy who's talking to Geralt's like, "We actually it's probably better and easier to just yeet her off of the face of the planet." And Geralt's like, "Okay, I'll see what happens whenever I start to take on this job of the Striga." And the king talks to him and he's like, "Hey, so is there an actual cure?" He says, "I believe so." And he's like, "Well, if there's a cure, please do not kill my daughter." And Geralt's like, "No promises." But of course, if you've played the first Witcher game or if you know anything about the Witcher series, he is able to cure Foltest's daughter. So yes, there will be spoilers. If you have not played the game, read the book, or watched the Netflix series, there's going to be some spoilers. I should have said that in the beginning. My apologies. So yes, we begin with that. That is a great way to start off a fantasy series, though. In my opinion, it's just like let's just dive right into all of the violence and the blood and the guts and the. I know I make great sound effects. Um, let's see. So his fight with the Striga, like it lasts the whole night. Some weird stuff happens. He gets like a bad neck wound because the next day when he's like checking the body, he's like, she's a girl. She's not a Striga. I should see if she's alive. And she just like yeets, claws him, and he like passes out. And then we are the next scene that we see is him in a a priestess of. I'm gonna probably say her name so wrong. It's so bad. She's a priest. Her name is Nanek. Am I saying this? Ladard, am I saying these right? Is Nanek? my, my redneck accent's coming out. And she's a priestess of one of the local deities, and she's healing him. And apparently, they have some history together. He's like, "What's up, chick?" And she's like, "The heck you got into this time?" And he's like, "I did a job." And she's like, "You almost died, dum dum." And it was fun. Uh, um, and then okay, Naneke, Naneke. Hey, I promise, guys. I know how to say words. Just things that I haven't seen before. I have to like read it a few times. Yes. Yes. I said it right. Woo! So, and they get to talking, and I guess this is basically Geralt's story time, is because he just tells her some of his adventures that he's been on. And so my comment on this is when the Netflix series started out, it was so confusing because it just starts out with one of the stories like that he's actually telling somebody else, and we're not given that information. Like the Netflix series is not that great. Polish is very similar to Czech. We read as we write. Ah, very cool, very cool. I might learn the Polish slash Czech language. I might do it then. I gotta get Spanish down first. Well, I should really get the English down first, and then the Spanish, and then other languages that I want to learn. Because I do want to learn a lot more languages. But yeah, that was my biggest, I guess, grief with the Netflix series was because like it was just so confusing when you were first watching it. Why am I awake at 8:45? I don't know, hater sauce. Hatersaurus. I say sauce. Oh my god. And you write as you say. Don't go Yoda, speak on me. uh but yeah, like in the Netflix series, you're just kind of thrown in and you're not given really any context. Like eventually by the second or third episode, you're like, "Oh, these are flashbacks. But why are we doing the flashbacks?" And so I think that Netflix just got off on the absolute wrong foot adapting this book in particular because it starts off with you being in present day, kind of. Yes, present day kind of thing. And then Geralt is telling this priestess some stories about, what he's been up to and stuff and such and all that. So this intro already leaps and bounds better than the Netflix adaptation. But most books are better than their TV/movie counterparts or adaptations. So that was already like, it's like, yes, that was very good, very nice. And so that's where we are. This next part of the I'm gonna just kind of do a very quick overarching like summary of the book and then kind of dive into a little bit more of the details and my thoughts on it. I keep getting distracted by myself. So as he's telling one of his stories, he tells the story of whenever he was traveling through a forest and he sees this guy and this chick just lifeless corpses, and he investigates them and he's like, "Oh my god, what the heck is going on here?" And so he goes deeper into the forest and he finds this castle which is run by a creature. I'm not sure exactly what kind of creature he was. It was very confusing, but his name was Nevlin. Nivlin? Nevlin. Nivellen. Nivlin. That's a funny name. And apparently this poor kid was cursed at one point in time with this, and so ever since he was cursed, he's been getting maidens sent to him because he's got a lot of money sent to him so he can have someone to talk to. And this has been going on for a while. And then the most recent lady that I guess appeared to him was actually a vampire, a type of vampire. And nobody was really sure until towards when Geralt leaves the castle and he apparently Roach, the horse, is like, dude, you missed a big thing. And Geralt's like, I'm an idiot. Let me go back. And so he goes back when the vampire is kind of, I guess, trying to eat Nivlin, Nivlin, blah, 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 blah. And so as Geralt is about to lay the death blow on this vampire, she kisses Nivlin, and Nivlin is cured, and she's gone. And Nevlin's like, why did that work? Because he's like, all of those fairy tales that say a maiden's kiss fixes curses are only partially true. It has a grain of truth. Meaning that vampire, that was true love's kiss. That vampire really did love the poor kid. And it made my heart sad. I was like, oh, the poor vampire. She had to get her head cut off. And Nevlin's true love died in front of him. Which this is foreshadowing. A lot of these stories are foreshadowing Geralt's story later on, which cool. I figured that out from this chapter, because I also really think it's cool how the different main chapters are broken up into mini chapters. Like the overarching chapter for this particular story is A Grain of Truth, and then it's got different little mini chapters in it. I think that's so cool personally, because it helps you understand. It breaks down the story into bite-sized pieces. It doesn't just shotgun blast you like what I'm doing right now. Oh dear. So, sorry, my tea is not doing what I need it to do. Hopefully next week I will be able to start drinking coffee again. So, in the next chapter, The Lesser Evil. This chapter is where the Netflix series starts us out on, which I think was not the greatest chapter to really start the Netflix series on. If I'm just being honest, personally, I think that they should have started the Netflix episodes the way that the book does. But that's just me. What's up, Jim Stock? How you doing? We are talking about The Witcher today. The Last Wish, the first book, or chronologically the first book. I don't think as far as publishing order, and late art, tell me if I'm wrong. This was not the first book as far as publishing order is concerned. I think it was actually the second or third, if not further away. So yeah, later, let me know in the chat if that is correct, because it was my understanding that this was done after the series had already been out for a little bit. So I don't know, but chronologically, it's the first book, and I think it's the best book so far. But this is the only book I've read of the Witcher series, so I'm a little biased. All right, so next chapter of the book, The Lesser Evil. And this is, if you've seen the Netflix series, you kind of know what's going on. Basically, Geralt is riding into the town of Blaviken. And the reason why Geralt is telling this story is because people know him as the Butcher of Blaviken. And for those of you who don't know, it's like, what happened in Blaviken? That's what this chapter talks about, how he got his name. Witcher season 1 was dope. Huh. I thought it was okay. It was not my favorite adaptation, to be quite honest, but I'm glad you liked it. I really am. I couldn't get into it, but I'm also more of a book reader than I am of just a TV goer. Like, that's just kind of how I've always been. So I prefer books as a medium, but that's just me. So the lesser Baklavand. Baklavand. Baklava land. Hmm. Hmm. Baklava land. I'm probably saying that. But yes, that is what I mean, I'm kind of confused. Where did that come from? I mean, yes, we know that Ladart is the queen of baklava. So I don't know. Baklava is it's a country. It's a country that I invented, and Ladart is the queen. And if you don't understand, that's fine. You're not meant. Anywho, the lesser evil. So Geralt's riding into Blaviken. Oh no, it's not baklava. Blaviken. Blaviken. What's up, Jacob? How you doing? How you doing today? So he's riding into. Now I'm gonna say baklava. All right, I'm gonna the butcher of Blaviken. There we go. I got it. He's riding into the town of Blaviken, and he's already got a monster on his donkey in tow, and he's going to one of his friends. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Caldeman. I'm gonna just say Caldeman. No, Caldeman. The town's alderman to get. I won't confuse. No. It's okay. You can continue to confuse me. It makes for funny content. I think that's the only reason why most people watch my stuff is for the jokes. Ah. Oh, before I forget, Jacob, you're doing your 1 year anniversary on YouTube today. Sorry, today. What time is that going to be? Let me see if I can try and put the link to that in the chat for a moment, because that's going to be super awesome. And Jacob Iron says, my friend, y'all. So if you have not subscribed to his channel, please do. I'm going to Baklavan right now. I'm glad, Jacob. Well, 7 Central. All right. 7. I'm assuming PM because it's already past 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. Hopefully. So let me put that in the chitty chat. So yes, if you have not, please subscribe to my friend Jacob Ironside's channel. He's gonna do his 1 year on YouTube celebration. Jacob's channel. Can I please type? Yes, thank you. So here we go. The link is in there. There you go. So it's going to be at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time tonight on Jacob's channel. So he is 1 year on the YouTubes. Very nice. Very nice. Anyway, let's get back into it. All right. So he's going to the alderman. He's like, hey, I need a reward for killing this Kikimara, this thingy bobber. And he's like, well, the wizard in town might be able to tell you, or might be able to give you some money. And so he's like, fine, I'll go to the wizard. And his name's Stregobor. And dude's like, hey, I got this chick that's trying to kill me because I tried to kill her. Can you kill her before she tries to kill me? And he's like, I don't kill. I'm not a what's it? I'm not a gun or a sword for hire. I don't just kill people. I kill monsters. That's my thing. I don't I don't kill innocent people. And the wizard's like, I will reward you handsomely. He's like, I'm not gonna just kill a random person just because you have a beef with them. What's up, the Gourd King? Hail from the workplace. Oh, I am sorry, my dude. Hope you have a good day at work at least. At least. So yeah, he's like, dude, this chick's trying to kill me because I tried to kill her, and I need you to kill her before she kills me. And Geralt's like, I don't want in the middle of this. And he's like, well, phooey on you. But Geralt goes and finds the girl with her band of merry men, and he's like, hey, this dude, you shouldn't kill him. You should just leave. Don't make problems, please. And she's like, you can't tell me what to do. And he's like, if you do this, you're going to die. And she's like, Well, that's on you because I'm gonna do it anyway, and you can't make me not do it. And he's like, and she's like, you must choose the lesser of the two evils. He's like, I'm not gonna choose, but the choice is made for him. And unfortunately, 99 problems with a witch ain't one. Yup. And so he goes back to the place that he's staying, and the chick's like, "Hey, are you really gonna kill me tomorrow?" And he's like, if you make me, I will. He told me to kill you, and you're telling me to kill him. Like, I don't like to be in this middle of hatred towards each other. Like, I just want to do my job and leave. And she's like, "Well, I'm gonna sleep with you tonight." That's kind of like what? And so the next day happens, and I guess when she was sleeping with him, she apparently was like, "Yes, I'll leave tomorrow," and she says something that triggers a memory in him. He's like, "She's not gonna leave. She's gonna kill him." And so he like runs. He's like, and takes on her band of merry men and wins, and then she fights him, and he kills her, but he doesn't want to because I think he loves her. His little heart loves her, but he does end up killing her. But when Strigobor comes over and he's like, "Hey, let's autopsy the body because she's a mutant," he's like, "Don't you touch her!" And he goes, "Well, if you do this, your name is going to be spread throughout all of the realms as the Butcher of Blaviken." And he just girl's like, "Okay, fine, whatever," and he just walks away. And that's how he got his nickname, the Butcher of Blaviken, because he killed a lot of merry men. All because of a woman. Why do so many bad things happen because of women, man? I mean, technically, it wasn't the woman's fault. If we're just being completely honest, she was born. This wizard was like, "Hey, she's cursed. I need to kill her," and she's like doing the normal thing of, "I'm not gonna let you just kill me, man." And she runs away. I don't know. But that's just me. I'm like, I would probably do the same thing. Like, "Yo, I got a bone to pick with you. You tried to kill me, like, when I was a child. Like, bro, that's not okay." But I don't know. So that's why wouldn't he why couldn't he be the Witcher of Wolverine? Wolverine. That kind of sounds like Dovahkiin. If I'm just like, if you change the W and you put a D, it's Dovahkiin. Oh no, he's the Dragonborn, guys. Because we're worth it. I guess we are kind of worth it. I don't know. There are some women out there I just want to punch in the face. You are not one of them, my queen. The Queen of Baklava. Although I do think that sometimes my husband's like, I'd like to at least like, because I want to like punch him sometimes. So I don't know. Marriage is great, y'all. It really is, though, if you find the right person. Anywho, after that fun story, I guess like we have a little bit of back and forth between him and the priestess as he's telling her these stories. Because basically it's story time for her because he's injured and she's taking care of him. No, no, he's the Wagonborn. Everything Witcher must start with a W. Yes, the Wagonborn. The Witcher. So it's not Blaviken, it's Wavakin, which is what Wavakin, and he's the Wavakin. I'm gonna say that from now on. No, he is not the Witcher of Blaviken. He's the Witcher of Wavakin. Yes, you heard me correctly. He is Wavakin. Wagonborn. I love it so. I love it. Oh. Well, yeah, that's. I'm gonna say that, and people are gonna be so confused, but it's gonna be amazing. I love it. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Give me so many great ideas. Dude, that's awesome. Okay. So the next chapter, which breaks down into mini chapters, is called A Question of Price. So basically, we are this episode is the same episode, not quite word for word, in the Witcher Netflix series. I actually think that it wasn't the adaptation of this particular episode or this particular chapter into the episode wasn't actually like all that bad in my opinion. I think they did okay. When they ask what you're reading, you reply, "The Last Wish." You wascally wabbit. We're all Elmer Fuds now. Yes. The wascally witcher with the wish. The wast wish. The wascally witcher with the witch. Okay. So this is the chapter that talks about basically Ciri's backstory a little bit about her mother and her grandmother. Her grandmother holding a ball basically in order to give her daughter away in marriage because apparently there's some rules about there needs to be a man on the throne, which is very patriarchal, but that was just how it was back then, and I don't have an issue because she's a great, like, she's a very badass queen. Like the grandmother of Ciri. And so she's like putting this banquet on. Her daughter needs to be given over in marriage, and then the banquet's going on, and she hires Geralt because she expects something to go wrong. Geralt's like, "Hey, I am not a sword for hire. What is up with these people thinking that I'm just gonna murk anybody just because you pay me?" Like, well, you kill monsters. There's going to be a monster here, and Geralt's like, whatever. So they have some chit chat back and forth, and he's like, "Why are you going to kill? What am I doing here?" And she's like, "You'll see." And then he talks to, like, kind of telepathically, kind of talks to the druid across the way, and the druid's like, "Something bad's about to happen. Don't you see it?" And girl's like, "I know something's bad's about to happen." And so that kind of goes on for a while, a few chapters, and then the princess is brought down. The queen's like, "Here's my daughter. Bring her down." And as her daughter comes down and bay to the bone, Donna. What's up, Nick Titan Aries? How you doing? I mean, the queen really is like, she's just like, I love her. She's the epitome of what a warrior queen should be, if we're being quite honest. She's very, very cool. So Princess is brought down. They kind of do some more talking, and then all of a sudden, this random knight with this helmet on is like, "Hello, I also want to have the princess for my betrothed, because in actuality, I saved your husband, the previous king, the one who died. I saved him one time, and he told me I could have whatever he the law of surprise. So basically, uh." I'll reward you, whatever it is. And he says, when you go home, the first thing that you see, and the first thing he saw was his pregnant wife with the child. So technically, by that standard, meaning that the princess is, according to fate, rightly the knight's betrothed. And of course, the queen is having none of this. Like, I don't believe in destiny, and she's fighting all of this. And then the daughter princess is just, well, backtrack. The knights, they get upset at him because he's not lifting up his mask and showing his face, which is already is like, there's something odd about him. Apparently he was also cursed, so he looks a little weird, and so a fight ensues. It's like, I'm going to marry the princess. No, I'm going to marry the princess. And the princess is just like, everyone shut up. And she just kind of does like some magic, like whoosh. She has magic, and everyone just falls down. And eventually the Witcher and the Druid are like, we need to stop her. She's going to destroy everything. And so they're able to quiet her down. And basically it's been revealed that she's already been sleeping with the knight, and the grandmother's just like, what? And so everyone just kind of like, okay, happy ending. And then Geralt, everybody asks like, Geralt, what do you want? Because you saved my life. And he's like, the law of surprise. And surprise, the princess is pregnant. Dun, dun, dun. And we all know it's Ciri. I'm doing good, Mendo. You now have the youngest viewer listening at just 11 years old. 11 days old, sorry. I'm so excited. Hi, baby, Nick Titan Aries. I bet she's so cute. Oh my goodness. For those of you who don't know, Nick Titan Aries is a new father. So yay! New father, cute little baby. And The Witcher is the right way to start a child. Train the child young. But probably should wait till they're at least 18, 16, 18 to read this, maybe. Maybe, I mean, I don't know. Who knows? But that is just me. I think that this is a great fantasy series. I think it's maybe a little bit too mature for 11-day-old little one, but eventually we will get there. We shall get there. thought. Yes. Um. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Okay. So next chapter after that whole escapade is kind of where like he's still talking to the lady, the priestess of the temple that's still taking care of him. So we periodically get like snippets of him just talking to her, and you get this sense that he's the reason why, like by this point in time you're like, oh, he's telling her stories about his life and stuff and things, having flashbacks. So this next story with chapter is maybe with some bedtime stories. Ooh, I think Chronicles of Narnia definitely for her. Mwah, love it. Maybe not the last battle, but definitely. So yeah. So the edge of the world, because they so Geralt and this priestess are having a conversation, and the priestess is like, "Hey, I know you're like looking around and to see if Yennefer is here. Yennefer is not here. And for any of you who are gonna say Triss is better, nah, Yen is the best girl because she's the canon girl." And Yennefer didn't lie like Triss did. I mean, yes, Yennefer is a sorceress, and so she lies and so blah 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 blah. But yes, hello, Miss Martin Muses. We're talking about The Witcher today, The Last Wish. I enjoyed it. Enjoyed it. So this next chapter, basically the priestess is like, so how in the heck did you meet Yennefer? Oh wait, hold on. How did you meet Dandelion? Yes. How did you and Dandelion first meet? If I'm remembering correctly. Da, 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 da. Making sure I'm not skipping. Da, 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 da. No, this is not how we met Dandelion. This is just another random tale. Sorry, y'all, I'm getting ahead of myself. I have notes. I actually have notes for this video. Aren't you guys so proud of me? I thought ahead and made notes, and I keep jumping off of my notes. Yay! So the edge of the world. So Geralt talks about him and Dandelion. One of Geralt's, I guess, low moments of saying, "Witches aren't needed anymore. Why we're going extinct, and the monsters are going extinct. Nobody wants a witch's services anymore." And Dandelion's like, "Let's go to the edge of the world. They probably still got some monsters over there." And so they do. They go to the edge of the world, the known world. I don't think it's the late art. Is the world round in The Witcher, or is it flat? Yay! Thank you. I did it for you, Nadart. I knew you were so happy and excited, and I wanted to make sure I was at least halfway prepared. So, is the world in The Witcher flat or round? I can't remember. Granted, I probably wouldn't be able to tell just from this one book, but anyway, I me. Anyway, so they go to the edge of the known world, and they find a village, and they're like, "Hey, this thing, this devil." I love how they pronounce devil. You can't tell what they're trying to say in the beginning when you first read the word, and Geralt's like, "A what? A devil?" It's round. Okay, cool. Thank you. Because I know some mythologies have flat worlds and round and all of the shapes and sizes and stuff. Thank you, Ledot. And so they go to this town, and like I am so that was so funny just trying to figure out what they were saying, and you realize, oh, they're saying devil? Devil. What's what you mean? Yeah, that's what I said, devil. It's like, what? I felt like he was trying to talk like Cajun. It's like a devil. And so apparently this devil has been going around stealing the villagers' grains and some of their stuff for their crops. And so they're like, Geralt, we need you to stop him. And then Geralt realizes and finds out they've been feeding this guy. They've been taking care of this guy. And he's like, What do you want me to do? Kill him? They're like, no, don't kill him. We just don't want him to steal our stuff anymore. And it's like, why didn't you say that in the first place? And they're like, well, because we have this old lady with an old book that tells us about what you're supposed to do and stuff. And we went by the book, and the book didn't book failed us. So Geralt goes further and talks to the little goat man thingamabobber, the devil, which is like if you've read or seen Chronicles of Narnia, it's like Mr. Tumnus, little goat man half creature thing. I forget what they're called. And so Geralt's talking to him and he's like, "I'll play a game with you, but I'm not leaving." And apparently Geralt and Dandelion get knocked out, and then the next thing they know, "Oh, we've got elves? What are elves doing here? What's going on?" And the elves want to kill Geralt and Dandelion, and the what are they called? I know they're called something different in the Witcher book. They're not centaurs. Centaurs are half man, half horse. What is it? It's gonna bother me. I'll look it up later. But so the half man, half goat thingamabobber is just like, that was not our deal. Don't kill them. They didn't do anything wrong. It's like the elf's like, well, they know too much and they're going to come after us. Satyrs. Thank you, Nick. Satyrs. Yes, he's a satyr, which is a half man, half goat in mythology. So the satyr's like, no, we're not going to kill them. You'll have to kill me before you kill them. And the elves are like, okay, cool. And Dandelion has his lute broken. And as the elves are about to kill Geralt and Dandelion, they're a Sylvan in Witcher. Bad spelling. Yeah. Okay. Sylvan in Witcher. But they're called satyrs in most mythology. Thank you, Nick and Ledart, for reminding me the thing. So apparently, as they're about to kill them, this lady, I guess the got it. I still wasn't. I didn't quite understand. Like, she's the lady of the earth. She's not technically a goddess, but maybe like a druidess. Not well. No, she's just like an ethereal being. She's in charge of the harvest. The haters. Or they're waiters if you have the W, the waiter. And she has like a telepathic conversation with the elf, and she basically like, leave them alone, and you who broke his instrument, you give him your instrument. And so everything's good. Everyone kind of the elves go back to the mountains. Geralt and Dandelion go back to the village. Everyone's happy, and so yeah, it's the queen. She's the queen of the fields, but I'm not like. She basically, if you the young woman that we're introduced to earlier in the chapter, she's basically her, and she's been looking out for these villagers in this area. So, and that chapter ends with them going, "I don't know what to do next," and then they transfer around and on. So the next chapter is when the priestess lady, while Geralt and her are talking, and she's like, "How the heck did you and Yennefer meet? Because you're looking for her, and she's looking for you, and she's upset with you, and I don't know why she's upset with you." And Geralt's like, "Why don't you just leave her these jewels?" And she's like, she's going to kill you when she sees you." And he's like, "Yeah, probably." And so the priestess lady's like, "What did you do? You messed up." And so she asks, "Well, then how the heck did you guys meet?" And so we get the chapter, which is also the title of the book, The Last Wish. Ooh, ooh. And basically it started with Geralt and Dandelion fishing. They find a jar. The jar breaks. The jar has a djinn. Dandelion's vocal cords. And this is very much like, almost not quite scene for scene in the Netflix series for this episode, but it's pretty close. Like, not too the adaptation on this particular episode or chapter was actually pretty good. He called her his friend. Yikes. His friend. So they're fishing. They find the djinn. The djinn curses Dandelion, but Dandelion has one more wish. And so Dandelion is like dying. Geralt takes him to a village. The villagers are like, you can't come in. So he stays with somebody at the night. Wow. He stays with somebody. He finds out they are a priest of something. And he's like, well, there's a sorceress in the town that could probably cure him. Her Her name is Yennefer of Vengabird. And so the next day, Geralt takes Dandelion to Yennefer, like, please help my friend. And she does the Yennefer things like, I might help him. I don't know. You intrigue me. Interesting. And so she asks him about the gin, about Dandelion's sickness, about how they found the gin, what the gin did, and so he takes her to Dandelion. Dandelion's cured. She actually cursed a lot of the guys and made them do weird stuff in town, like taking revenge on people in town, kind of thing. And when they wake up, they're in jail. Like Geralt and the priest dude's like, "How did you get here?" "I don't know. How did you get here?" And they're like, "Oh, it was Yennefer. She cursed us." And so they try and get out, but they're talking to the person in charge of the area, and they're like, "Yennefer cursed us. We didn't do this on our own." And the next thing they know, a portal opens up and it's Dandelion saying, "I wish something." And so that was his final wish. And they're like, "Dandelion, what are you doing here?" And he's like, "I don't know. What am I doing here? What are you doing here? What's going on?" And they eventually find out, like, or they hear thundering and weird, crazy stuff happening. And they're like, "The Jinn, she's trying to capture the Jinn and do some weird things with the Jinn. We aren't sure about what's going on." The Jinn's very angry and she's trying to capture it and take its power. And so Geralt's like, "I must go." And so he makes the priest dude make a portal so he can get to Yen. And Yen's like, "I can handle this." And he's like, "No, you're not." And that's when he realizes, "Oh, I still have one more wish because I also touched the seal with the thing that had the gin in it. So I have 3 wishes." And so there's a tussle. Yen and Geralt are like fighting each other while the Jin's destroying the town. And finally, Yen realizes, "Oh, you have a wish. What was your wish?" And this is the thing that I wished they a wish of a wish of a wish. I wished that Netflix would have gone with this way instead of the other way. Like Yennefer knew what Geralt wished for, and basically he wished for uh destiny to be mixed up with hers. Like their destinies would be intertwined. And she was there when he made the wish, and like she knew what he made. Whereas in the Netflix series, she didn't know what he wished for and it caused problems later, which I think that I like the book one better where she knows what he wished for, because I feel like the Netflix just kind of made unnecessary tension. I don't know, but that's just me. That's my opinion. And basically Yennefer's like, "Why would you attach yourself to me? Oh my god." And then they do the hanky panky. And Dandelion and the priest are like trying to look for them, see if they died because the building collapsed around them. And then they find them doing the hanky panky and they're like, "We're going this way." So Dandelion and priest dude walk the other way while Yin and Geralt are doing the hanky panky. Oh my god. And then we are brought back in the next chapter to Geralt and priestess lady talking, and she's like, "You need to stay a little longer, Geralt. Your wounds have not fully healed." But unfortunately, some of the local king or regent, whatever, is like, "Geralt needs to leave now. I want him now to get out, or bad things will happen." And so thankfully, the priestess is like, "You get out of my temple, I'm gonna hurt you if you don't get out." And so they leave at the beginning of the book, and now as Geralt and Dandelion are leaving the temple, the bad dudes come back and they're like, "We're going to challenge you because you offended us." And there's a dwarf that with them. And so they challenge Geralt to a duel, but Geralt cannot harm the person that they're dueling, and so he's in a double bind. Like he cannot harm the person, but he also has to fight them. And so it's just this weird, convoluted, weird thing. But he's able to get out of it, and the dude injures himself, and so Geralt is able to use the loophole where he did not injure the person, and the person injured themselves. And at the end, the dwarf is like, "We shall meet again, good Witcher." And if you realize who the dwarf is later on, if you've played the games, you know who the dwarf is. The dwarf. And so as he's getting ready to leave, he is getting on his horse, and one of the other minor priestesses hands him something. She touches his hand and basically foresees some bad stuff gonna happen to Geralt. And the other priestess lady's like, "Please stay. There are bad things that are gonna happen." And he's like, "I know there are bad things that are going to happen. I'm still going to go anyway." And he rides off into the sunset. And that's it. That's kind of the very quick Mando version. It's not Gimli, it's not Gimli. I can promise you that, but it is that is funny that yeah. That's funny. What is the dwarf's name in the Witcher games? Dang it. Give me a second. Mr. Dwarf. Not Gimli though. That is funny. But yeah, so he and the why did Netflix adapt him like never mind, I'm not worried. So yeah, that's kind of the book, the first book in a nutshell. There's a lot of really great parts. I really enjoyed Geralt's sense of humor in all of it, if we're being honest. Like his witty comebacks, the times where he knows to be patient. He the Netflix series with him grunting so much. I thought it was granted, I liked it. I liked it because it was Henry Cavill, but that's just me. Uh I think that the Netflix series could have done a little bit better. I think that the overarching understanding that Geralt is telling someone these stories instead of just being thrown into the stories, as far as what the Netflix series did. I think that the book is a little bit, it helps the person who has no understanding of The Witcher understand what's going on, because if you had never even heard of The Witcher, never played the games or anything, and you watch the Netflix series for the first time, you're just like, "What the heck is going on?" And you don't realize that they're all flashbacks. Whereas in the book, it starts out with current day, he gets injured, and then you realize, oh, he's having flashbacks, or he's telling this person these stories. So that's just my first observation that with the difference between the Netflix series and the book. I I really enjoyed the the conversation between Geralt and the Queen, Ciri's grandmother, a little bit more, because you the Netflix series, granted, I think Netflix series got her really well, showed her haughty nature, her pride, and so I think that the Netflix series got it just about almost on point. Mando, Geralt apparently cries in season 3. I hate this timeline. What? I think hasn't the only time has Geralt cried in all of the 3 Witcher games that I've played, and I haven't finished the 3rd one. He's not cried in those. Wouldn't he cry over, I can see him crying over either Yennefer or Ciri. It'd have to be one of those 2. And if you don't know Ciri will be coming later on. Ciri is technically Geralt's destined ward, and she is the queen's granddaughter, because her mom has magical powers and ashen hair, kind of runs in the family. I think that the he lost the ability to have emotions. This is true. Yes, the main thing with the Witchers when they do their augmentations, I call them augmentations, whatever. The mutations and everything that the Witcher has to go through, they lose the ability to have emotions. That's one of the key features of being a Witcher is you no longer have emotions. Which, yeah, they can't. Yeah, that's not cool. He's a mutant. He can't cry. Yeah. Yeah, he with his mutations, he cannot have emotions, he cannot cry. So yeah, that's weird. I stopped watching Witcher after episode 6 or 7, season 1, because I knew I wanted to read the book first. And so I've been waiting to have the book series first before I get back into The Witcher. I don't think I'm gonna do my Witcher review videos. I think that they just weren't my thing. I don't know. I might try and do Netflix review videos again for The Witcher, but I think I'm gonna pivot to something else probably as far as review videos are concerned. Uh yeah. I'm excited though. I I want to give this like a 10 out of 10, but I also like I don't know if it I don't want to like give it a 10 out of 10 because like for me though, like I love fantasy. I love Lord of the Rings, Chronicles of Narnia. I was kind of okay with season 1. Uh but then I started thinking, yeah, there were a couple of episodes in season 1 that were really like almost spot on in my opinion. Question. What's the question, Boban? What's the question? So I give it a 9 out of 10, because I very rarely give anything a 10 out of 10. Like Chronicles of Narnia and Lord of the Rings are what I give 10 out of 10s for. So, um, how long did it take to read that first book, Mando? I'm a fast reader, so I wouldn't really gauge my my reading speed to a normal person's because it took me. So I work 8 hours a day. It took me 2 work days to get done with this. When I would go to work, I would start reading it, so for 8 hours, and then the next day at work, I read it for 8 hours. So about and this was with interruptions at work and stuff, so so give it a 10? Do it. Okay, yeah, I give it a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. I there weren't any boring parts. There weren't parts that I was just like, "Nah, skip over." Nah, like it was really, really good. I enjoyed it. So, 10 out of 10. So glad I read it. But so for the first book, I read really fast. I'd say it took me roughly 14 hours, but this is like when I was at work and there were multiple interruptions. There were things I had to do. I also was getting work done at the same time. Yeah, it's about 340 pages, give or take. So in this copy, it's got the first part of the next book in it, so I don't count these. And I ended at 320. So 300 excuse me, 320 pages and it's a quick read. Yes. And it's a quick read. Reading at work, you are blessed. Yes, I work at an office job where I am basically a glorified secretary and an office babysitter. So I'm able to read at work. Okay, thanks. Cause I got Dune series to read. I'm planning to see if and how can I put Witcher in there. I also have the first book of the Dune series. It is a thick boy. I could probably read that if I was able to do it every day at work. I probably could get that done. It would take me a probably good week, like 8 hour a day week, if not more, to read Dune. Dune is a thick boy. And granted, I got it's like the copy I got is like half the size of this, but it's like super thick. So my copy is probably not the best one to judge. And eventually I will also read the Dune series, but I've put the Dune book down so I can read The Witcher right now. But I will one day have all of the Dune series and it is thick. If you're looking for an easier read, definitely I think that this is a pretty easy read, pretty quick. Very enjoyable. Dune is too creepy. They worship giant worms. I mean, that's not the weirdest thing to worship that humanity's ever worshipped before. I mean, the giant worm can eat you. I mean, that's me. So I definitely would recommend this to even if like if you like fantasy, definitely. If you're not a big fantasy person, uh I don't know what to tell you because this is actually still I'd still yeah. Uh Jokes aside though, I'm glad you loved it. I am glad I loved it too. It's a nice breath of fresh air. I didn't feel like I had to slog through reading this. Was it was an enjoyable read because there are some books that I will read because I started it and I'm gonna gosh dang it, I'm gonna finish reading it. This was not one of those books. This was one of those books that I had a hard time putting down. It yeah, very, very good. 10 out of 10. I'm gonna probably reread this eventually when I'm not doing reviews on all of the series. Ooh, maybe, maybe, because I won't be. Now you have time to prepare for the show. Yeah, later. I won't be doing the review next week for the second book. I'll be doing the review the week after next because next week is going to be the last installment of the Summer of Narnia, where Alaja, Smile a While, Megan from the new reviews, and possibly Miss Martin Muse. I need to talk to her. Where we will be doing the last two books of the Chronicles of Narnia next Saturday. So it will. You have 2 weeks to prepare, late art. And you are more than welcome to come on to Literary Souls, late art. More than welcome. And now you have 2 weeks to prepare. But there's no pressure. Absolutely no pressure. If you don't want to, don't worry about it, late art. This is just an option for you if you want to take it. Uh but yeah, I think one of the chapters that really kind of just made me so sad was the lesser of two evils, or the lesser evil would die of anxiety. What? You stream late art. And you don't have to show your face if you don't want to. You can do what Arc does and just have your little icon there while you're talking. But it's fine. There's no rush, no worries. But you are more than welcome to be a guest on Literary Souls. But back to the lesser evil, I think it does bring up a really weird moral question. Like, if you only have like one evil versus another evil, like, is there really a lesser evil? And in Geralt's mind, like, you don't really. He doesn't choose. If it's evil, it's evil. He's not gonna make a choice between the lesser of two evils because it's still evil either way. But it's sad that the decision really is kind of forced upon him, and it just brings that question of, if you were faced with two bad things happening, but you had to choose one, would you choose or would you just not choose? Would you try and do a third option? Or, because the third option really isn't an option. It's one of the other two is going to be what the outcome is. And what do you do with that? Because that is a great moral problem that we have today. And even in like America, the American politics, a lot of people say, well, I'm voting for so and so because it's the lesser of two evils. Well, and there are people who say, well, I'm not going to choose between the lesser of two evils and don't vote, which makes a third option happen, which actually is not really a third option. It's one of the other two options that's going to happen. You should always choose the lesser of two evils. Aloha and blessings. What's up, the beast? How you doing? We're talking about The Witcher today. The Witcher Book 1. Later, remind me, I think I asked this earlier, but The Last Wish, I know chronologically in the story of The Witcher is the first, but which publication order is this versus the other ones? The Wrestle of Two Evils. Apparently we all went Elmer Fudd today. The Wascally Wabbits and the Wascally Witches. The Last Wish. Oh, goodness. Let's see. Actually, I think I might know. So it was published in 93. I was 1 year old when this was published. Oh, that was in the original Polish. You think it was third? Okay. So yeah, publication order. This is not the first book, but chronologically, this is the first book. And typically when I read a series, I try to go chronologically. Because to me that just makes the most sense. Granted, I understand that sometimes authors, as far as publication order is concerned, publish books, like they'll write the first book and then they're like, oh well, we kind of need a prequel for it, and so they'll write the prequel after the first book. But if that happens, I try and read the prequel first and then read the series. But what do you guys think? Do you guys do that? How do you, if you know you're going to read a series, do you try and read in chronological order or publication order? Because this is a big debate as far as the literary world is concerned. Because there are some people who say you must read it in publication order. What is wrong with you if you don't? And I'm like, I'd rather read it chronologically. That's me. That's just me. Let me take a look. I can. Yes, you are correct, late art. It was the third publication order. The Witcher isn't written/told chronologically. I mean, there kind of is a chronological order, if we're being a little honest. This one is pretty much separate book, and since they are flashbacks, you might as well get the backstory first. Yeah, okay. Like I said, this is my first read through of the Witcher series. I've played the first 2 games and I've played part of the 3rd game. So I'm still very much new to the Witcher franchise. So I don't know what the right answer is. I don't know. But yeah, so I always start with the Silmarillion and finish with Return of the King. Cool. I do the same. I do the same. When that came out, I was 4 years old and talked like Elmer Fudd. Oh my god. Yeah, so this one came out in 93. So Sword of Destiny came out the year I was born in 92. I'm a 92 baby. Yeah, I'm a youngster. This one is by far my favorite. Ooh, okay. Hopefully I'm not too disappointed with the other ones. Read the EU chronologically, you might drop from old age. I'm reading the Jack Ryan, Tom Clancy series in chronological order. Okay. Yeah, the EU stuff like from Star Wars is rough. It's hard to read that in chronological order, but I still do like a lot of the EU stuff. I'm more of an EU fan when it comes to Star Wars than I am of Disney. What is the series? I don't have I heard it? I've probably heard of that. It's just that sounds familiar, but I can't think of it. Oh well. How many of you guys in the chat have actually read the Witcher series or any of the Witcher books? Or have you played the games? I know some have watched the Netflix series. I stopped at episode 3 or episode 6, season 1. Maybe I'll give it give it another chance. Who knows? I might. But I don't know if I want to without Henry Cavill. That's just me. That's me. You can watch it if you want to. That's fine. I hope you like it. I just like things to be adapted very closely to the source material. Personally. I read the books, or you read the books. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, I am. This is my first time reading through them, so I'm excited. This is a great book to start out with. I enjoyed it. I also understood more of what was going on. Perfect. And so the next one will be The Witcher, and then Sword of Destiny. But when I read Harry Potter, I have read first Goblet of Fire till Deathly Hollows, and then started from the first book, Philosopher's Stone. Oh my god! You monster, Bowman! I read the books every year. I played Witcher 3 and I saw the Polish movie. I win. I have not read any Witcher. You should. Well, that's what I'm going to be doing. We're going to be reading the Witcher series on this channel besides next week. So for the most part, we're going to be getting some Cliff Notes versions of the Witcher books. Netflix is a decent Ciri Yennefer story. Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, Jacob, join us. So Ledot is the resident expert on The Witcher. I haven't finished playing Witcher 3. I will eventually. I'm thinking about bringing back Witcher Wednesdays on my Twitch channel. So we'll see if I bring back Witcher Wednesdays. I'll probably have to restart the 3rd game because I haven't played it in so long. Yes, Jacob, audiobooks. Audiobooks are a godsend sometimes. Like if I'm doing cleaning around the house or something, I'll have like an audiobook or something I'm listening to or a really cool podcast, and I'll just be doing the stuff while reading a cool book. I'm sure that I had more notes. Hmm. Hmm. I need to get into Tom Clancy stuff. Unfortunately, I haven't yet. Da, 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 da. Trying to think. Ooh, another moral problem. I don't know. maybe it's kind of morality, but we'll talk about it. So in the chapter The Edge of the World, where Geralt is kind of having a sulking moment, he's like, well, no, the world doesn't need witchers anymore. Beasts aren't, as rampant as they once were, and kind of just sulking. And it kind of made me think about what, like, for us, like, modern day humanity, because there are so many things that, like, monsters and witches, wizards, magic, there are so many things that we put as fairy tales and as stories, and we don't have the same sense of wonder for the old world that a lot of our forefathers did. Like, I'm kind of sad, if I kind of understand what Geralt's feeling is, like, I'm seeing the old world kind of die. And Tolkien and C.S. Lewis also had kind of this problem of, they saw the modern day, like, the Industrial Revolution is like, well, it's taking away all the things that are beautiful. And but sometimes progress is needed, though. Like, technology has been very helpful, but it's also been very hurtful to us as a human race in the world. Mando, did you just go a little Sith? Join me. Yes. When I play Star Wars: The Old Republic, I always choose the docks. I mean the Sith Empire, because I feel like the quest lines are a lot more fun. And I can experiment with my character, but that's just me. I very rarely play a Republic character in the Old Republic. I don't know. I guess I'm just so familiar with the Republic and being on the good guy side, like, huh. Well, eventually we should probably get into reading some different stuff. I don't think I've read any of Tom Clancy's stuff. Join me in the dark side. Well, for those of you who've seen the Netflix series, what is your thoughts on uh because in the chapter that talks about, like, when Geralt and Yennefer first meet in the book, she knows what Geralt wished for, versus in the Netflix series, she didn't know what Geralt wished for, and then later on it became an issue. What are your guys' thoughts? Do you think do you guys like the Netflix take on the last wish, where she doesn't know why she has this weird attraction and fate seems to always put them together, kind of thing, versus she knew exactly what Geralt wished for and was okay with it? What do you guys think? Because, like, I think personally that I like the book part better, because she knows, and it's not an issue later on. I mean, it's still technically an issue later on, because, like, even in the games, if you don't know the game, she in the last one, spoilers for the last Witcher game, she finds a way to break the Jinn's wish. I guess curse? Not really even a curse. Late art Mando. I will put Witcher on my list. I've got 2 books going right now. Yes, I read more than 1 book. I do the same, Jacob. I do the same. I just watched for seconds. Honestly, can't remember much from it. Aw. I remember some episodes, especially, like, while reading this. I was just like, oh, I see what Netflix did there. And, kind of I'm better able to compare what Netflix was trying to do and what was supposed to happen. But I think that it's better that Yennefer knew what the wish was. I don't know. I like honesty. And, like, that's part of the reason why I'm not a Triss fan, because, like, Triss literally lied to Geralt for at least a year, if not 2 years, when he lost his memory. And this is game stuff. Some people don't take the games as canon. I take the games as canon, because why not? Continuation continues the story. That's just me. But Triss lied. Triss didn't tell. Like, Triss was supposed to be one of Yen's great friends, and apparently Triss, like, stole her man, and he couldn't remember, and, like, bruh, that breaks the girl code. What's up, Hokies? How you doing? And Triss is all. But I'm planning to buy whole book sets and to experience the whole world, the whole story properly. Yes, yes, I love doing that. I'm so excited that it's not quite here yet, but I'm about to have all of the Wheel of Time books. I am so excited. So once I get done with Witcher, I'm going to be going through the Wheel of Time. I love it so much. I finally am gonna, and it's all thanks to Ledart. Mwah, Ledart, your donation that you made last week, I used it to buy the rest of the Wheel of Time and a few Halo books. As would kill me for saying it. Well, I don't know why. Tell me, guys in the chat who choose Triss over Yin, why do you choose Triss over Yin? Because to me, I like Yin better than Triss because Triss broke the girl code. Like Triss broke the girl code. The girl code clearly states if your friend has a man, you don't go steal that man. You make sure you and your friend stay together. Like your friend and that man stay together. Like girl code. Come on. Like I am a Yen fan because like if Triss had just been like, "Hey Geralt, like I know you and I kind of like have a thing. Like there's a connection here, but you actually have another chick that you've been looking for and like you love. So like we should go look for her and help you find your memories." No idea who Triss is. Triss is the redheaded chick who was supposed to be Yin's friend who is also a sorceress. And basically Geralt lost his memories for a while and she slept with him. Because yes, I picked both. Cause they know her only from the games where she is good and Yin is way too bitchy. Yeah, yeah. I do agree. The games do not put Yin in a very great light. I still think Yin is better than Triss, but that's just me. I don't know. But yeah, so Triss is basically supposed to be Yin's best friend, and she's another sorceress, and she's a redhead, which Netflix, of course, adapted her to not be her. They adapted her into a different race, but she still had red hair. Kind of. To me, it looked a little more orange, but still red. Ginger side is real. Anyway, so that's, and I mean, like overall, I think Triss, like if she hadn't done that to Geralt, I think she'd be fine. Triss truly loved Gary. Yin grew to love Geralt. Did Triss though? Did she? Did Netflix Mando also play Triss? Yes, Netflix Mando played Triss. Promises, promises. What's up, Salty? We're talking about The Witcher. Something that you're going to be excited for, Salty. Pretty soon, I'm going to have all of the Wheel of Time books, and I will be doing reviews on them after I get done with The Witcher. Triss tempting men with that red hair. Yes, the beast, but she tricked him to sleep with her. Yes. I yes, I can understand like Triss could not compete with fate. Triss could not compete. Like I think if Geralt had met Triss before he met Yen, he probably would have chosen Triss. Probably. But that's not what happened. Triss comes in afterwards. Like, and she knew that Geralt was taken. She knew Geralt was taken. Sup, Salty? Spoiler alert, the Witcher series is nothing at all. And anyway, like the Elric books. Ah. I'm such a sucker for faded love. I mean, it's fine. Like I do seriously think that if Geralt had met uh Triss first, then I don't know if he would have gone with Yen. But that's not how the book's written. And I am a sucker for canon. I like canon. Triss is not the canon choice. But it's fun to play the games. Like that's one of the really great things about games is you know what the canon choice is probably supposed to be, but you don't have to play the game that way. You can play the game however you want. And so I think that's one of the other reasons why a lot of people really enjoy the games is because you can pick Triss. Like you can pick Triss over Yen. and like you can pick when Yin and Geralt break the fated the Jin's wish. Like you can pick like, nah, I'm gonna choose Triss. It's like, okay. If they have it written in the stars, I'm there for it. Understandable. Understandable. Oh my gosh. Later, am I forgetting anything else? Is there anything else that we want to talk about as far as this first book is concerned? I give it a 10 out of 10. You can disagree with me if you want. Um, Jacob, to answer your question, yes. My first playthrough, I picked Yin. My second, I'm picking Triss. Hey, that's what games are for. Games allow you to do the what ifs, to go into that what if territory, and I'm here for it. Yeah, am I going to be a stickler for canon when it comes to adaptations of stuff to like movies and TV series? Sure. In games, I'm a little bit more lenient because like games are supposed to be where you get to be creative, where you get to do the story. Like there is a main story that you're supposed to probably follow, but you get to choose a lot of stuff and you get to do really cool things with games like that. I love what Geralt says about the Witcher code that he made his own. Yes, so there's the Witcher code and then there's Geralt's code. So I think that part was really cool. Because people are like, well, according to the Witcher code, and he's like, yeah, but I have my own code I follow, and I'm not just a hired sword for you to use as you see fit. Like, no. Um, yeah, that's a cool thing. Let's see what else. Yeah, because that's what he talks about in the chapter "A Question of Price." Because he's like, bro, you can't just hire me to kill anyone you want, like anyone you disagree with. That's not what I'm here for. And like that's a big thing kind of throughout all of the Witcher series is people are like, I want to pay you to murk this person. And Geralt's like, I am not an assassin. I am not a thug. I kill monsters. I do not kill humans if I can help it. So I really enjoy that part about Geralt because not like as you come to find out when you're playing the game or learning more about the Witcher world, there are other schools of Witchers, and not all of them have the same code of ethics. So that's a really cool thing. Da, 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 da. I also kind of like that at the last chapter where the Oracle touches him and she like sees nothing but blood and bones and fire, and it's just like, oh my god! And everyone's like, Geralt, you're gonna have a really tough life, and he's like, I know, and I'm okay with it. It is what it is. Which that's just like, man, that's rough, buddy. That's a rough life to live for Geralt, in my opinion. What else? What else am I forgetting? I also kind of like that foreshadowing in one of the stories. There is? There's a real life Witcher school in Poland? What? What is it like? What do you do? Do you just practice sword fighting? I need to know more about this, Ladart. What have you done? Now I want to go to Hogwarts and this Witcher school. I can't do both at the same time. Just a man standing in front of a woman asking her not to send me to kill people. uh, basically, that's funny. I'm gonna look into that late art because that sounds so cool. Makes me want to go to Europe even more now. I will get my passport eventually, and I will make my European tour. What should I call it? Should I call it Mando's European trip or European tour one of these days? Yes, and archery. I love archery. Yes. Do they do the mutagens? Huh. That is interesting. Which city in Poland? Yes. That's so cool, Ladard. I'm so jealous. That's awesome. So what else am I forgetting, guys? Landart, am I forgetting any big thing about the first book? I'm definitely going to be reading the second book, and I will be doing the review or be doing a Literary Souls on the second book, not next Saturday, but the Saturday after. Next Saturday is the final installment of the Chronicles of Narnia Summer with my friend Smile a While, Alaja, and Megan from the Noob Reviews, and possibly Miss Martin Muses if she's available. No, do not forget. And it's always when I do Literary Souls, it should always be at 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time on Saturdays. They closed it. They closed it. Mando's This Is the Way to Europe trip. Hey, I like that, Nick. I like that. I might that's probably what I'll call it. One of these days I'm going to get my passport. I'm going to travel and I'm going to see all of you guys that are in Europe. I'm going to freaking see you guys and I'm going to give you big hugs and it's going to be awesome and I'm so happy. One of these days, which costs money and passport. I need a passport. Don't For those of you in Europe, do I? So Nick and Ladart, I know for sure you guys are into Europe. Do I need to have a visa when I go visit? Is there like special kind of visa that I need to have when I go? Licensing issues? Oh, very sad. Why did 2022 have to take that from us before I even knew it existed? No idea. Of course, Poland has a Witcher School. Polish are awesome. You don't think so? Okay. Because I was talking to somebody the other day and they're like, if you're going to go visit Europe, you need to have a visa along with your passport. I was like, what? What? I'm in the same boat as you with no passport. Yeah, I'm going to eventually get one. These days. So yeah. All right. Am I forgetting anything else, Ladart? What's your Visa card? Make more videos. Money. Yes. I will need the monies. There is some kind of formula for entering European Union. You can find it online. Okay, cool. So whenever I do get my passport and try and make my European appearance, I will look into that. I let my passport expire. Was not using it. Marshall, how dare. Passports are expensive where I am, man. Like $200. Oh well. But anyway. Am I forgetting anything else, Ladart? Because if not, we will call it a day. Make sure that I'm not forgetting anything about the book. Great book, 10 out of 10. Read it again. This will be on my reading list to read again. I very rarely read books more than once. Like I read Chronicles of Narnia and Lord of the Rings more than once. Very rarely will I read another book more than once. But that's just me. And I will read this book again. Because I liked it. It's very good. You don't know? I don't know. Anyone have any other comments about the book? Please put it on your reading list. If you have not put it on your reading list, it's very, very good. Don't know why I went Indian all of a sudden. I don't know what happens to my accents. 10 out of 10 would recommend. I rhymed. It rhymed. I did it. Let's see. Oh, before I forget, please do not forget to hit that like button, the subscribe button if you are not subscribed, and comment on my videos. I've been trying to do a lot more videos recently, trying to build up my YouTube channel. Hopefully we'll get it monetized in the next couple of months. That's the hope. We're at like 220 something right now, I think, if I remember correctly. So yes, please share out my videos with your friends. Tell me what you like about my videos. Tell me what you don't like about my videos. Tell me the things that I need to work on and the things that you like. So great book. Yes, very good book. Very good. Very, very good. I'm sorry. If any of you have ever seen Courage the Cowardly Dog, you'll know where that's from. So all right. Well, let's see. I will be on my Kick channel Monday with my friends doing some Pathfinder / D&D game where we are pirates on a ship. I mean, Why not? Tuesday, I will be once again on Jacob Ironside's channel, talking about the Twilight Zone. Thursday, I will be on Roman of the Empire's channel talking about more Ahsoka. Friday, I will be doing my Sea of Thieves stream, and then next Saturday will be the final installment of the Summer of Narnia. Please don't miss out. It's going to be a great panel. We're going to be talking about the last two books of the Narnia series, The Silver Chair and The Last Battle. So please don't miss that out next week. And then I'm not sure what's going on after that. I like Professor Mendo in Saturday school. Hey, I did some substitute teaching for a little while, and I've taught school before to people. So I brought out my Professor Mendo. Just look at the Witcher school. They fight people dressed up as monsters. Oh, that's cool. Thank you, teacher. Aw. Oh no. Yup, absolutely late art. So yes, on my Kick stream, at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, we are going to be playing some more Dungeons and Dragons, and Arkasul's character is probably going to try and pee on me again. And if you don't know what that means, you should watch to understand what's going on. So for now, toodles, and I hope that you all have a fabulous rest of your day. Please be safe out there. Have a great Labor Day weekend if you are American and have the Labor Day weekend off. And don't miss out next week on the last installment of the Summer of Narnia. Toodles!